Okay, today we're going to take a look at the Oxva Origin device. Before we take a look at what's in the box, I need to let you know we will be giving everything you see in the review away. So stick around till the end of the review just to find out how. Let's have a look and see what's in the box. So yep, this is the Oxva Origin. Let's open that up. Okay, there's the device itself. This is a pod device. I'm quite excited to see how this thing actually works, because if it does everything that it says on the box, it should be a pretty impressive piece of kit. Let's have a look underneath here as well, see what else is included. So there is a 0.3 coil already installed in the device. You also get a 0.5 coil with this. A USB lead for charging. And the usual things you'd expect. Some information about the coils, a warranty card for you to fill in, and a manual. Let's just move that to one side for now. Let's have a look at the device itself. So inside the Oxva, you'll find that there is not, in fact, a battery included with the device. Instead, what you'll need for this is an 18650 battery. You can buy those separately, such as this one here. So before we do anything else, let's put that 18650 in. And one of the reasons I like devices that take separate batteries is, yes, you can charge them the usual way by plugging the USB device into the Oxva here, and then the other side into the wall. But you can also use an external battery charger for your 18650 batteries, which has a couple of advantages. First thing is, when you're walking around throughout the day, I'll just put this in, negative, negative, and there's a positive. The first advantage is when you are out and about in the day, if your battery runs out, you can always carry a spare in your pocket. Swap them over, recharge them when you get home, or indeed have one battery charging while you're using the other one, and let's swap them over throughout the day. Saying that though, this 18650 is in here, it's charged, it's ready to go. When you do first put it in, I'll just put it in again for demonstration, you'll notice that the screen on the front will light up. Okay, so that's started to read now. It's telling me what the watts are at. It's telling me that there's a 0.32 ohm coil in there, and the battery's fully charged. Now the coil itself is a 0.3, it is shown as a 0.32. You will always get a slight variation, so 0.32 is fantastic. I would never expect a device this small to be able to take coils which are at 0.32, because if you know anything about vaping, you know a 0.32 coil is a sub-ohm coil, and that should mean that you get a lot of clouds and you get a lot of intense flavour. Okay, I'm going to be filling this today with an 80-20, 80 VG, 20 PG liquid, and we are using Ice Cream Social, deeply whippy, very nice flavour, very creamy ice cream with a little bit of sherbet in with there. So let's get that into the device. Taking the pod out, very simple. You just slide it over, pull that out, and it's ready to fill. Actually, before I fill this, let me have a little talk to you about the coils that go in here. Now, the pod devices that I've reviewed before have a built-in coil in the pod, which means that when the pod needs to be replaced, you essentially throw the whole thing away, you get a new one, and you pod it back in. The Oxva does something a little bit different, which I like. you can have replaceable coils for this, and you'll see here by twisting this coil, you can take that out very easily. And then to change the coil, after you start to get a burnt taste or it starts to produce less vapour, you know you need to change the coil. Simply unscrew the old coil off, put the new one back in, and if you can see just below there, your airflow is also adjustable just underneath the coil. I'm going to open this airflow up full because I want to get the full potential of cloud production from this device. And then let's just put that coil back in. Okay. That's in there now, finger tight, which is just what we need. And let's fill this up. There is a little plastic part here which you pop out, goes to the side, and there's the hole for you to put the juice. So let's put some of this deeply whippy in. Just put the little plastic thing back in. There it is, good to put back into your device. I'll just put that in like that. Clip it down. That's now safe and secure. As always, when you're refilling a new pod or you have a new coil, you should always let the e-liquid soak into the coil for at least 5 minutes. The last thing you need to do is to start firing this when you've just put the e-liquid in. What that will do is it will burn the coil, it will give you a very burnt taste, and essentially you'll need to throw that coil away and replace it. So let's just leave this here for 5 minutes. Okay, so that should have soaked in quite nicely now. While we wait for another extra minute, let's just have a look at the screen. This is your fire button, and as with most e-liquid devices, it's always 5 clicks to turn on, 5 clicks to turn off. So there we go, that's turned off, and that's back on. And this is a variable voltage, and I've got to be honest, when I first found this device, I was looking everywhere for the up and down button. There isn't one. There's one button down here at the bottom. And what I found is, as you press it, it will keep bringing the wattage up. It'll bring the wattage up to a maximum of 40 watts. And then it will cycle back down and it will start again at 5 watts. So no up and down button on this, just the one button. And what I'm looking to do is to bring this to 3.2 volts, which is always the perfect start when you're using a new device. Okay, let's give that a try. Lots of cloud production there. Fantastic flavour. I can't believe that a device this small and a pod device has the ability to create so many clouds. Let's just put this up to 40 watts to see what it can do. Really, really good. I'm just going to bring this back down actually to see how low we can have it and still produce some decent vapour. If I put that down to, let's say, 15 watts, let's see what it does. Good to know that the Oxva Origin doesn't need the highest wattage setting for you to get a satisfying vape. I've got that down now to 15 watts, which is actually running at 2.19 volts, and the flavour and the cloud production is still good. If of course you do want something with a slightly higher resistance, the 0.5 coil does come with it. The 0.5 coil will produce just as much clouds, maybe slightly less, and just as much flavour, well, maybe slightly less. But nonetheless, for the size, of this device, and for the performance that it's given me, I would recommend the Oxva Origin device to both people who've been vaping and are used to larger mod type devices and just want something a little bit stealthier, or someone who wants to get that mouth to lung experience without having to have a heavy device in their pocket. Great little vape.